Welcome to Brain Recall. Article 22 protects individuals from unjust arrest. It ensures that a person must be informed of the reason for arrest, must get the right to consult a lawyer, and must be produced before a magistrate within 24 hours. It also protects against long detention without trial, except in cases of preventive detention laws. Article 23 bans trafficking of humans, bagarre, forced labor without payment, and any form of exploitation. No person can be forced to work against their will. The state can impose compulsory services only for public purposes and without discrimination. Violation of this article is a punishable offence under law in India. Article 24 strictly prohibits employing children below 14 years in hazardous jobs such as factories, mines, or dangerous occupations. It aims to protect children from exploitation and ensure their right to health, education, and development. Non-hazardous work may be regulated by law, but hazardous employment is completely banned for all children. Article 25 guarantees every person the freedom to follow, practice, and propagate their religion. This freedom is subject to public order, morality, health, and other fundamental rights. The state may regulate economic, financial, or secular activities associated with religion but cannot interfere with core religious beliefs or essential practices. Article 26 gives every religious group the right to establish and maintain institutions, manage religious matters, own property, and administer such property according to law. These rights ensure that religious communities can function independently without unnecessary government interference. However, these freedoms are subject to public order, morality, and health. Article 27 protects individuals from being forced to pay taxes that specifically promote or support any religion. The state cannot spend taxpayers' money for religious purposes. However, general taxes for secular public welfare, like maintaining historical monuments that may have religious significance, are allowed, as long as they do not favor any one religion. Article 28 regulates religious instruction in educational institutions. Religious education is prohibited in institutions fully funded by the state. It is allowed in institutions managed by trusts or private bodies. In state-recognized or aided institutions, no student can be forced to attend religious classes without their consent or the guardian's approval. Article 29 protects the cultural identity of minorities by allowing any group with a distinct language, script, or culture to preserve it. It also prevents discrimination in admission to educational institutions maintained by the state. This ensures equal access to education for all communities without bias based on religion, caste, or language. Article 30 gives religious and linguistic minorities the right to establish and run their own educational institutions. The state cannot discriminate against these institutions while giving financial aid. This article ensures that minorities can protect their culture through education and have autonomy in managing their institutions, subject to reasonable regulations. Article 32 allows citizens to directly approach the Supreme Court for enforcement of their fundamental rights. It empowers the court to issue writs like habeas corpus, mandamus, prohibition, certiorari, and quo warranto. Dr. Ambedkar called Article 32 the heart and soul of the Constitution because it protects all other rights. Article 33 allows Parliament to restrict or modify the application of fundamental rights for special groups like the armed forces, paramilitary forces, intelligence services, and police. This ensures discipline and proper functioning of these services. The restrictions must be reasonable and only for maintaining national security and order. Article 34 deals with the imposition of martial law in specific areas due to extreme emergencies or breakdown of order. It allows Parliament to indemnify, protect, government offices for actions taken under martial law. The purpose is to maintain public order during exceptional circumstances while ensuring accountability after normalcy returns. Article 35 gives Parliament the exclusive power to make laws related to certain fundamental rights, such as those under Articles 16, 32, 33, and 34. States cannot legislate on these matters. This ensures uniformity in laws concerning important rights across the country, maintaining national consistency and constitutional balance. Thank you. Subscribe for more.